Beautiful people, we are back flying. We got a 3-day trip. We're going to Oakland, California, Indianapolis, Indiana, and we got a deadhead. So as always, you want to come fly Boeing 767 trip? Let's go do it. Today's trip starts with a commute, not a deadhead. So I'm based out of Memphis, which I've mentioned many times, on the 767. And my trip today is starting in Memphis. So they always start there, but usually I look for deadheads that pay me to get to different places in the country. This one, however, starts in Memphis. So I'm bumming a ride on my own metal, we call it, and my own fleet, a 767. So we have 4 jump seats in the 767. It looks, I just checked the manifest, it looks like I'm the only jump seater today. So it'll be the captain and the first officer flying the plane, and then myself in the back. Don't have to be in your pilot uniform, just business casual. So we're all set to rock and roll, and we'll just, get a ride out to the airplane, which I'm doing now, leaving flight ops. They'll drop me off at the airplane. It's always courtesy to ask permission, so it's up to the captain, to make sure I'm allowed to get a ride, but they always say yes. There's no reason for him to say no, unless he really doesn't like me. Maybe he saw a vlog that he wasn't too fond of, but no, he'll say yes. And then next stop will be Memphis, and then the real work begins. This is unpaid right now because it's a jump seat just to get to work. So I just checked into the flight crew. They said it's good to go. I got a free ride to work. This airplane actually just came from Paris, so it actually has a crew rest module. So there's bunks in there, which I'm gonna ask the captain if it's okay if I take a nap. I'm not gonna be tired, but just hang out back there. It's a little bit more comfortable to lay horizontal on my 2-hour and 30-minute commute. So there's no bedding, unfortunately, no pillows, no blankets, but still nice to lay down. We got airplanes blasting off. There goes the 737. So it'll be a quick departure off of runway 4 left right there. Heading out, and then we'll make a left turn heading to Memphis. Smooth takeoff out of Newark, and now we're jumping in the crew rest module. So here's what it looks like. I've shown it before on different vlogs, but it's 2 bunks. It's very, very, very quiet. Normally there is sheets and bedding and pillows and stuff like that for the crew. Obviously, if we need it, any flight over 8 hours, you're gonna have at least 3 pilots, and then anything over, I believe it's 10.5, you're gonna have 4. So that's why there's 2 bunks. You got your supplemental oxygen, some emergency equipment, flashlights, fire extinguisher, and then if I wanna call them or they wanna call me, and then you can control your temperature. Just a little bit of work, said smooth takeoff. We got about 1 hour and 20 till we're in Memphis. So just said to the FO and captain if it was cool if I came back. They said
no problem, rock and roll.
So I'm gonna take the bottom bunk, lay down for a little bit, scroll, and just get horizontal on these very nice, it's not a king bed, but we make do for a free ride to work. It ain't too shabby. Nap time over. You can tell they're starting the descent, so I'm gonna grab my bag, head up back to the flight deck. Be landing in Memphis in about 20 minutes. Made it to Memphis, nice, safe and sound on the jump seat. Now we're out, about to go fly our plane. We're flying Mr. Poppy today. Boeing 767s all loaded, ready to go. We love to see it. About 45 minutes prior to departure, so we'll be out of here early to Oakland. Met with the captain, we got 1 jump seater. He's gonna take the first leg out to Oakland. I'll fly tomorrow to Indy, and we got a long one for me. I didn't even check the flight time. 4 hours, 15 minutes to Oakland. I haven't been westbound that far in a while. We're cruising at 36,000 feet to start because of our weight, and step climbing to 38 because we're going westbound. APU just started up. Time to go fly, let's do it. Greetings from Oakland, California. We made it. Holy cow. I haven't had a flight that long in forever. That took forever to get here. Forever. Over 4 hours. I guess I've been just doing so much Newark, shuttling back and forth from Memphis. As soon as we hit the 2.5 hour mark, I was like, we're not even halfway. Holy cow. But overall, good flight, good captain, good crew, good food. Thanks, shout out to the Whole Foods Sushi. And yeah, pretty uneventful flight. Here's some fun facts though for all you pilots in training. Here's the arrival. So this is how we land and get vectored into the airport from basically high altitudes. It's called Standard Terminal Arrival Routes, STARS. So it's called the Oaks 3 RNAV arrival. These are just all points that the airplane follows when the autopilot's on, or if we were flying, we follow them. They're just basically invisible fixes or points in the sky. But anyway, the reason I want to bring it up to all you private pilots out there is something that you definitely have been learning or will learn here soon, is your airspeed. When you're flying below a Bravo shelf, this is the San Francisco Airport SFO. This is Oakland where we landed. So you can see the difference. B is for B airspace, C is for C airspace. It just designates the type of airspace that those airports are under. Well, Charlie, there are different rules when it comes to the different airspaces. So C for Charlie, B for Bravo, and technically Oakland sits under, not technically, it does sit under the Bravo shelves here. So there's all these different shelves of the Bravo airspace. As you can see, this shelf, the airspace is from 8,000 to 10,000 feet. This shelf is from 10,000 to 4,000 feet, so on and so forth. So something that always happens when we're coming into Oakland, some pilots brief it, some do it, some don't, is, hey, if you're flying into Oakland and you're below this Class Bravo shelf, even if you're on an IFR flight plan, per federal aviation regulation, you have to be below 200 knots. That's something that every pilot learns in private pilot school. Now, there's always debates with pilots saying, oh, we're on an IFR flight plan, we're a heavy jet, ATC knows we're here, blah, 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 blah. So some don't always do it, but what I noticed is the standard terminal arrival route that Oaks 3 is showing you, they actually made it requirement now on the speeds so that pilots actually do it, because it is mandatory. So here's that chart again, the Oaks 3 RNAV arrival. They update it whenever there's new things that come out. Sure enough, here it is, effective June 12th. So on 6 June 2025 of this year, they updated this chart. There might be little things here and there, but the biggest difference I noticed was this right here. This fix at 200 knots. It used to never be at 200 knots. Well, that's not a surprise because FIST on the airspace is right before the Bravo. So if you're at 7,000 feet, which it says you have to be, 7,000 feet, hopefully I'm not losing too many people, 7,000 feet would be below this Class Bravo airspace. Therefore, you'd have to be at 200 knots. Well, it wasn't on the STAR before. Pilots were just supposed to be doing it. I'm guessing a lot were not. But here it is. Now it's requirement, and there's no question if and or what. You have to be at speed 200 knots, book it. So that's your pilot fun fact of the day. I'm exhausted. It's technically 8:30 my body clock time. I could be up at 3 a.m. local time tomorrow. I really don't want to go to the gym. Like really, really don't want to go. I didn't sleep great last night, just tossing and turning before my commute to Memphis. All signs point to just veg out and go to bed, but if I'm going to be the non-negotiable guy, I got to make it non-negotiable. So we'll change out of this pilot uniform, and then, yeah, I guess we'll hit the gym. It's funny, Oakland layover, where we are specifically, I guess there was a news article about a year or two ago, probably closer to 2 years now. It was deemed like the worst 1 mile radius in the US for like crime and theft and just danger. I ran for my marathon back when along these roads, and then like a bunch of pilots and guys at my company were sending me this article, do not run there. I would still go for a run here, even if it is dangerous, because I love being outside, but the ankle is still healing, so we'll probably just do a little leg workout followed by a bike ride, but it won't be too long, an hour max, shower. I got some sushi still from Whole Foods in the fridge, and we'll get to bed. All right, we didn't want to be here, but here we are. Non-negotiable, folks. I don't have much here. It's a pretty shite gym, but we'll use those later. 30 minutes on the bike, some light leg exercises to bring the ankle back slowly. Discipline over motivation. I'm telling you, discipline over motivation. Good morning, beautiful people. Currently 6:31 East Coast time, 3:31 West Coast time. I don't care what body clock you're on. When your alarm goes off at 3 a.m., you're not happy about it. But such is life, such is flying. If you want to be a pilot, it's going to be inevitable. Here we are. But I realized I never went over my schedule for what this trip is. So I'm going to go over it, and then I have a very, very important question I need to pose to all of you. Propose, whatever the word is, propose to all of you to see A or B, so stand by. But here's the schedule. All right, the trip I'm currently on started yesterday, Wednesday, to operate Memphis to Oakland. I'm on this 11-hour layover right now, nice and short. And today, Thursday morning, we're flying Oakland to Indianapolis. When we land, we have a 17-hour layover for a deadhead on Friday. These are the stats of the trip. So to get here for the trip, I had to commute in. Since it started in Memphis, but I don't live in Memphis, I had to commute in, which you guys saw me do on the 767 to start the trip. Quick layover, then operate Oakland to Indy, which I'm about to do, then deadhead Indy to Memphis on Friday. So as most of you know, you can deviate this. So I'll be canceling this deadhead. I'll be getting home today, Thursday. Probably by the time I jump on a flight out of Indy to New York, I'll get home around like 3 p.m. today. That'll be the trip. And this is what I'll do. I'll end up flying about 8 hours total flight time. This leg was about 4.5. This will be just under 4. And then that's how we get the 8 hours of block credit. That's how much I'm paid, 12 hours. And then travel bank, $190, because this deadhead fare from Indy to Memphis cost the company $190. I cancel it. I bank that for further use. So that's the trip I'm on. That's what we're doing. That's what we're flying. The question I have for you is, I had an option for 2 different trips this week. That was trip A. We'll call that A. I don't know how to write on my screen right now, but that's A. This was trip number B. Same exact footprint as far as like times and days, but the schedule would have been fly from Memphis to Newark yesterday on Wednesday, which is about a 2.5 hour flight. Then it would have been 36-hour layover in New York City, so sleep in my own bed, CSJ, and all the perks that comes with being in the layover on your own city. Then fly Friday morning, Newark to Memphis, be done with the trip, and then have to commute home. The stats for that would have been a 5-hour block, same pay, 12 hours of pay. And then the travel bank would have been $0 because there's no deadheading involved. So, question to you is, if you had a choice, obviously you know what answer I chose. I asked SJ which one, when I FaceTimed her last night before bed, which one I should have done. So she gave me her answer. I'm not telling you which one it is. We'll call this A, and we'll call this option B. So you can put down in the comments A or B. Would you rather, this is the pros. Okay, I'll tell you the pros about this. Travel bank, because it's a deadhead. So $190 into my travel bank. The other pro is I'm done Thursday afternoon, like completely done with work. I get to be home Thursday night, all day Friday, no work and paid. The cons, and only one commute to Memphis. The cons to this trip are 2 commutes. So I had to commute to Memphis, commute back from Memphis at the end. No deadhead money. However, the pros to this are, would have slept in my bed every single night this week, 36-hour layover in New York City. And the other con to this is, on Friday, I would have had to work. So I'm going back and forth. I mean, I had this king bed. I didn't do much in Oakland. It was a super, super short layover. Which one would you have done? So for next time this pops up, I wouldn't know. A, B, let me know. Beautiful people from the ramp. We're in Oakland, it's early. I'm awake, I'm ready to rock and roll. Got about an hour, 5 minutes until we're ready to depart. Well, we'll be ready to depart earlier than that, but scheduled departure is about an hour. We walked, we got dropped off, and then we decided just to walk to the jet instead of going to flight ops because we went over the flight plan in the hotel lobby, discussed it. It'll be my leg to Indy, just under 4 hours. Still curious though, A or B. I need to know on this one. Oh, we just pre-flighted the big girl. Her name's Eddie, 767. No write-ups on her, everything works. They just started loading it. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. We got Oakland Tower. We'll be departing runway 30, which is all the way down there. We took a jump seater in yesterday, and we're just talking about his schedule. He's flying the 777 either tomorrow or the next day from tomorrow from Oakland to Sydney, Australia. So talk about a route I would love to do, hopefully soon in my career. That'd be sick. And like a 3-day layover in Sydney. Now we're talking flying, airline pilot flying. But for me, I'm just doing measly old Oakland to Indianapolis, 35,000 feet to start, my leg. Excited to get home. Let's go fly. Pre-flight in the 7.6, and when I do, I always just get mesmerized by the moving parts and the engineering behind an airplane. Like, just look at this contraption, for lack of a better term. Hydraulic lines, you got electrical, you got all this equipment and wires running through the airplane, doing something, doing things. Even the tires themselves and the brakes are so well built and engineered by the men and women who do it. It's pretty crazy to think that like every little part has a purpose. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about a car, but the fact that this moves at like 600 miles an hour at 6 miles above the earth, I don't know, to me it's just fascinating. I think that's why being a pilot is so cool. But anyway, just under 4 hours, let's go fly. Indianapolis, Indiana. We're in the passenger terminal already, 12:18, so we're early. Just got through KCM, so we didn't have to get rid of any of our liquids or our lunch that I'll be eating here in a minute. Good flight, little thunderstorm deviation like I showed there. Got a little bumpy around St. Louis, but made it into runway 23 left. It was my landing, no wind, beautiful skies, and you can see out the window here. No excuses. Just some days you just don't have it, folks. We're gonna have to go with a 6.9 out of 10. I know. And everything was fine and solid. It just touched down a little bit firmly more than I liked. So we're heading to the gate now. I had two options to get home, or a bunch of options, but option one was a 12:30 to JFK, which is in like 15 minutes that I'm not gonna rush for. And both have open seats. And then option two is a flight to LaGuardia, and I'm much closer to LaGuardia, usually a lot less traffic. So I'm just gonna hang out till 12:55, and I have a confirmed flight at 1:05, just in case something funky happens. But it's fully refundable, so I can just cancel that ticket once I get a boarding pass. But we'll change it to the pilot uniform. That's a hack once I'm through security. Get rid of the evidence that I'm a pilot so no one talks to me that I don't want to talk to, and then we'll be on our way back to New York. All right, we're all set to rock and roll. We just got our boarding pass for free. Indy to LaGuardia. About to enjoy some catering. Look at this, folks. Steak and chicken right up Pilot Pete's alley. Extra steak from yesterday's catering. Living good in the neighborhood. I'm usually a bird in the hand guy, meaning there was a flight to JFK that literally just closed the door 30 minutes early. You never know what could happen. Get on the flight. So if this LaGuardia flight gets delayed or has a maintenance issue, I'm gonna be angry Pilot Pete, but no, should be good. They'll save me, instead of like an hour ride home, this one will be a half hour, and it only scheduled to land like 10 minutes later than the JFK flight. So it'll work out. Trip's looking good so far. And just like that, we're back in New York City, Empire State Building in its old glory, and I'm finishing the day off at my home away from home, because you already know, folks, it's non-negotiable. I even had a barber on my flight home. Oh, funny story. The actual flight I ended up jump seating on, to LaGuardia, there was a delay. So in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have took that JFK one, but it was only like 15 minutes. So we got it done, we got home. Thanks for the ride, guys, who let me bum a free ride back to LaGuardia. Before I sign off on the vlog though, quick workout, and I'll bring you home. We'll say hi to SJ before we close it out. All right, I said we'd end the vlog. We're at Penn Station, New York, and look what I rode to go pick up SJ. Yay! Hi, baby. How are you?
I was on the train from 5:30 p.m. It's now 8 p.m.
I held off from closing out the vlog to just give people an appearance of you. They wanted to see you before we close it out.
Okay.
So close it out here.
Close it out here.
As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Long day, good day. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because we have something coming out that's gonna be fun to watch. A new YouTube series. Is it good? SJ's seen the first edit.
I don't know.
It's pretty good. I think you're gonna like it. So hopefully in a week or so from this drop, the new series will be out. But anyway, as always, if you have an Instagram with any questions, pilotpete.flies, make sure you follow me first. Love you all. Be well. See you in the next one.